comes. I do this every season. I hate when summer comes. I fall into a trap that I made by myself. Oh, and I always do the wrong thing. I'm unstable and I'm unsteady. I've lost a million times already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down. I feel unable and so unworthy. My heart feels heavy. I've lost already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. I'm always self-destructive. I take a hit, I love it. Can you give me a second? I'm slow, got blurry vision. I fall into a trap that I made by myself. Oh, and I always do the wrong thing. I'm unstable and I'm unsteady. I've lost a million times already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down. I feel unable and so unworthy. My heart feels heavy. I've lost already, and I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. Please help me see the things that I am. I don't understand. I'm doing the best that I can right now, but it's never enough. I'm not even ready to slow down. Just slow down. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now. And I'm so sorry, but I'm not able to slow down now.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Wait, you're lying to us, and I can't own a house. I can barely have a job. Forced into the gig economy, I get to deliver burritos.
What is going on, Hive? Make sure my audio's coming in. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to lie. I think today is going to be one of the most epic streams that I've ever done. The reason being is that it's going to scratch a couple of itches. One being the conspiratorial mind. Two being all of the 4chan and Reddit rumors. And three, I believe that I have cracked the infamous Idaho 4 Riddle, where they talk about a latitude and longitude coordinate. They talk about a garden and a gnome. And let me just tell you, the fact that this lines up, even if it's wrong, my mind was blown. I think you all are going to have your minds absolutely blown, because organically, meaning in the Hive and in the true crime community surrounding the Idaho 4, what I believe this riddle says is something that we have chipped away at for years. And this riddle posted on 4chan within a week of the case and the crime happening may have been telling us the entire time. One of my favorite things about my own brain, saying that humbly, is that I have always been a contrarian thinker. I think outside the box. I think what if. That's what I do. I can't help it. I'm never going to change, and I love it. I feel blessed that I've been given that mindset, that brain, that ability to think critically. I know a lot of you feel that same way in here. You all have sat here and watched me think in real time. I've watched you all think in real time in the chat. Today should be an opportunity for us to really show why that is important. Because, in my opinion, nobody has figured this out. I believe that we just figured it out. I believe that we figured it out because we think past the initial information. And that's a good segue into my disclaimer for the stream. If you're easily rattled or if you're offended on behalf of others, you're not going to like this stream. We question the narrative. We think past the headlines. We ask what if. We think out loud. Believe it or not, we still have the freedom to do so. We might be moving towards an AI algorithm society if we're not already balls deep in it. But damn it, until we can't do this, I'm going to get on stream every single night and I'm going to think out loud. And I'm going to be right here in the hive with all of you, not worried about sounding dumb because I'm doing this in real time. Nobody's perfectly curated. We're humans. We're all normal people. I'm just like you. And we care about one thing, and that is the truth. And damn it, I'll be damned if we get stopped prior to getting that in this case. I really mean that. I really mean that. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to say what's up to everybody. This 4 p.m. stream on a Saturday is a little bit later. I unfortunately, or classically, if you ask my wife, forgot that we had one of our best friend's son's first birthday. So we were at a baby's birthday party, which was a lot of fun. It was great to see a lot of our friends. UFO Dog says, birdie in the hizzy for shizzy and the rizzy getting tizzy, feeling gizzy while getting lizzy and feeling dizzy when getting busy and the fizzy for the whizzy. Jizzy. What up, Beck? How are you doing? I like the profile picture update. Very festive of you. Mad Hatter, Truth Matters, Jenna Baum, Halo Art, Poetic Justice, Les, great to see you. Pete Kane, tuning in from the UK, 10 p.m. Love it. Critic Rick, what up? What up? UK Karen. Dumb Slut 666. Hell of a username, but tuning in from Newcastle, Australia. Stoned AF on a Sunday morning with the Hive. Damn it. That is it's a hell of a way to go into the Sunday. Thanks for being here. Marcus, how are you doing? UK Kaylee, great to see you. River Bear Teacup. Brandon. Shoe Girl, how you doing? Hard and Holly. Mary, the purple one, 3121. Rev Bev, Discord Dawn, how are you doing? Chelsea's in Brisbane, Australia. UFO Dog says, I'm innocent. I didn't say jizzy this time. Catatonic 1, how are you doing? Kathy, Dina, Phoenix Talks, what's Gucci about Louie? Delilah Jane, Georgia Brat, Carol Swan, 369. Manuel, Germelia, Tinfoil Hat Claire, how are you doing? You said the J1. Nella Vibes, 5979 says, hi, Birdie, first live. Love your videos. Well, thank you for being here. Glad that you were able to catch us live. Welcome to the Hive. What's going on, Bridget? Think Twice. Man, I love this. I love seeing new faces. I love seeing familiar faces, new faces, people that are tuning in from all over the world. Chantel, Growth Renewal. This is awesome. Trisha. Herbal Hideaway. No way did I catch a live. Hi from Manchester, UK. I love the UK Hive. The UK Hive, the Australian Hive. I think we got a Scotland Hive. Yeah, right there. Hi from Scotland. Love that. North Louisiana. Down in the bayou. Sleuther Dare says 4chan burned my eyes. It's like the SpongeBob meme. He's like, actually, I don't know if he says my eyes. He might go, my leg. And that was a terrible reenactment, but if you've ever watched SpongeBob. Tracy's in Pennsylvania. What's going on, Deborah? Tuning in from Oklahoma. Sadie LaFoon, 1999. Camelia says, buckle up, new ones. That's right. Buckle up. It 624. Hopefully I said that right. Tuning in from San Diego. Stay classy, San Diego. Sussex, UK. Twisty's mom, fairly a newbie, welcome. Tartan Princess, been here a couple times now. Decent community. Oh, yeah, we're decent. We're decent. Love that. What's up, Scotland? What's up, Krager? Phoenix, Arizona. Simply Solo. Utah, UK. Man, London. Albury, Australia. New England. Or New England, England. Is there a New England in? Is there a New England in England? Never knew that. Ah, shit. Is it? Scotland's a part of the UK. That's like me thinking the Taj Mahal was in Russia. So, you know what? At this point, my worldwide geography is already trashed. Who cares? FB the Cook says Birdie's the best. No, you're the best. Manuel says, so what's the new theories? Well, we're going to be getting to that, and buckle up. Delilah says, love watching your channel grow. Yeah, absolutely. Last month, we had our best month. We had 500,000 views in the month, which is by far the craziest that I've ever had over on YouTube. So thank you to everybody that has tuned in, subscribed, hits like, comments, all that. Michelle's in Florida, Hawaii. Phoenix is in Mexico. Northeast England. Love that. Albuquerque. These chats are awesome. I love you guys. I really do. What's up, Angelina Cox, 8250. Tuning in from the PGH, West Michigan. Alyssa for president. Oh, Northeast England, not New England, England. Christ. That one goes to me. That is, that's awkward. My bad. All right, everybody, hit that like button so I don't get a beg and we can get into this awesome stream that I have planned for you all. It's so funny, like looking at the live chat over on my phone. It's a little bit delayed and I can just tell. Yep, that was New England, England. Nope, Northeast England. My bad. So, again, please hit that like button, everybody. Like I said, I'm going live at a different time, so let's push that out there. We only got 175 likes. We got over 400 people in here. Just take 2 seconds, please. Don't make me beg. I want to go through the stream. If I don't ask for the likes, people forget. I'm not begging for them. I just know, even for myself, when I watch other people go live, until they say it, I don't even think to do it. So hit the like button real quick. Press subscribe. I go live every weeknight at 7 p.m. Central. Saturdays, I'll go on randomly, and then Sunday nights at 7 p.m. as well. I hope everybody's got a great Christmas and New Year's planned, or a holiday season planned coming up. It's always awesome at the end of the year to wind down a little bit. And I'm excited because I'm going to have some, pretty much after Wednesday next week, I got some time off to be at home, be with my wife, focus on the streams, and I'm excited about it, especially given some of the new stuff that's coming out in this case. So buckle up. And also, if you have not done your Christmas shopping yet, check out the HiveMindStore.com. That giveaway that we're running right now, it goes through midnight on the 24th. So you have until midnight on Christmas Eve. If you spend $50 or more on any item, you will automatically get a free Hive Mind t-shirt added to your cart. You get to pick the size and the color. So HivemindStore.com. Anybody that's going to hate on that, run along, NPCs. Scram. Grab your salt on the way out. All of my streams are free, so hitting like, hitting subscribe, checking out HivemindStore.com is the best way to support this channel. And it's an awesome gift, especially if you're red-pilled or if you're trying to maybe give a fun gift to somebody that's an NPC that watches Ashley Banfield. Get them a Scrub Truck t-shirt. So I have one Hive Mind find from last night, and then I'm going to be getting into this. So I will move rather quickly through this. I do think that it is important going into 2026. One of my goals is what makes the Hive awesome. It's you all in the chat. So having Hive Mind finds, at least one of them, 2, 3, 4 of them, right? Each stream is important. You guys bring awesome comments and you're posting great stuff in our Discord. So I want to make sure that I promote that for you all. And also it's a great opportunity for everybody else to learn because I get to see them. And when I see stuff like this, I just think it's so cool what we've created in this community. So I talked about last night how the maybe one of the reasons that we aren't seeing the K-bar knife is because it could have been a purple heart inscribed or purple heart laser engraved K-bar. K-bar stopped making those, I believe, at the end of 2009, maybe early 2010, which is right when Kopaka got out. But what's really interesting is Gemma left a comment saying, replay crew, purple heart, isn't that what BK had a drawing of in court? Well, people have argued that it's a black heart, but that is interesting. It hits a little bit differently. And then I was looking at this and I'm like, that pen is drawn. That's not an actual pen. I believe that pen is a drawing. Especially when you look at the smaller, that is not a pen sitting on a piece of paper. That is drawn on. And I've never noticed that until I just re-pulled it up. That's why I think going back to the beginning is so important. Isn't that weird? That is an illustration of a pen. Beck says, I've never noticed that either. What's up, Amanda B from West Virginia? Oh, yeah, I agree. Black or purple, you can't really tell. Halo Art says, oh, wow. I don't know why. But and I don't know how I didn't catch that until literally an hour ago when I was finishing up these slides. I was like, oh, I didn't do any Hive Mind finds. I found this comment and I'm like, holy shit. When I Googled the picture, I'm like, that is drawn on. What's up, 1-1? Hopefully you got a fat cigar, a nice Cuban, hanging out, relaxing this Saturday. 1-1's an NYPD or former NYPD. I forget all the time. My bad. But thank you, 1-1, for the contribution of the knowledge. It's always nice having somebody who actually lives and breathes being a police officer, especially in a big city like that, tuning in. But yeah, that to me, I'm like, damn, that shit is Koberger that good of an artist? That's crazy. It does look real, but you could tell that it's not. That is completely flat. I took a handful of art classes and graphic design classes throughout my years in school and college, and I don't know how I never noticed that. And then if you actually look it up, if you were to actually go on Google and if we look it up, right, we go through some of them. This one was blurry. So check this out. When I paste a blurrier picture, that pen is completely drawn on. So I think that that's weird. You guys saw me just copy and paste that from Google. That's a drawing of a pen, everybody. Could be a printout. Wow. What a great thought process. That could be a printout. Maybe that's just a piece of printed paper with images. Maybe, yeah. What are we thinking that Koberger's just sketching? They would have shown that. They would have said Koberger's feverishly drawing creepy hearts. He's drawing a pen. That absolutely could be printed. Let me just open my window quick. All right. So now let's get into the meat and potatoes of this entire stream. Okay. So thank you to, oh, I covered up the person's name who left that comment. Thank you to Gemma Oxley 755. Great comment. Absolutely an awesome discussion. Great job. Thank you so much for that. Now, type of one, if you're familiar with the infamous 4chan post that says this. This was posted on Sunday, November 20th. On 4chan, it says, flowers, leaves, and butterflies. Here is a sight to soothe your eyes. A mini forest outside your home. You might even find a gnome. 46.74026 degrees north. 116.93170 degrees west. And it takes you to a random spot that's kind of on the border, but it's in the middle of the woods, and people go, well, that's like a garden, or maybe there's a gnome. Somebody surely must have buried something there. And in the spirit of the hive, I'm not here to just get up here and tell you my theory. This is a working theory. I have my answer that I'm going to give, but I want to hear, going back to the beginning, because full transparency, when I texted my mods this morning, I said, you know what? I want to do something fun about this case. I said, what about that riddle on 4chan? Nobody's looked into that in how long? I said, I'm going to research it. I'm going to do it. And I was sending them some answers. I had great feedback from them for what I think this could be and what I found out. So I think a lot of people think, oh, that's got to be a specific place, right? Somebody said, is Pain the gnome? Oh, that is. Oh, no. It broke. Are you kidding me? That's the second one this year that I've gone through. Fox Rooter, you're getting an invoice. What's going on, Michelle? Thank you so much for the super chat. Not the gnome. You know what? Maybe instead of getting a top dog award, I'll get a garden gnome. I'll just hold up a garden gnome to the screen. Top dog down. Yeah, I got to super glue it. I'm getting a hot dog trophy, Luna. The Kobayashi Award. Taylor says, I still need that invoice for the Olipop. Yeah. All right, but on a real note, no. You break it, you buy it. Just kidding. That is the second one this year, though. I don't know why that happens. Anyways, what was everybody's original thoughts when they saw this? Go back, think back. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I just want people to, to refresh their memories. If you've seen this, what did you think this meant? Yeah, that's where it's pointed at, A Baron. Where the arrow is, that's the coordinates at the bottom. Yeah, it does get too much action. You're right. Got some smart people in here. Luna said, originally thought something was hidden there from the crime. The knife. Turkey Creek Gal says, this is actually the first time I've seen it. Critic Rick says, here's my theory. People involved all kept evidence. If one flips, the others have things to tie them up to the case and put them away or use as a bargaining chip. Crimes, Lies videotape says the poem means 5904 Johnson Road. Gower posted coordinates as well on Facebook. That was creepy. He says, question everything, trust no one. Think twice says, first time I'm seeing it. So let me guess, Idaho 4. Batshit crazy. First time I'm seeing this. Wow. Never seen. Okay. I'm glad that I made this slide then. And that's why you never assume. Because what do they say, Hive? What happens when you assume? Thank you, cheat code 3967 for the super chat. Appreciate that. Any super chat over $4.99 will pop up over my head, and I will address that right away. Same thing if you subscribe. If you assume, you become a guitar tech. What? Thank you, Discord Dawn. It makes an ass out of you and me. Yep. Mama G, top dog, broken top dog, but you know what? We're all a little bit broken, aren't we? Says it's where Bill keeps his PCA. That's funny. So anyways, I started to think, everybody, this is a riddle. I don't know about you. When I was growing up, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, one of my best friends in middle school, his name was MJ, his father was what I would call a master riddler. He would buy puzzles that would cost hundreds, thousands of dollars. And whenever we would go hang out at MJ's house, we would play Guitar Hero, and his father would entertain us trying to figure these puzzles out. And I'm talking, they were one of one type of puzzles. If you've ever seen that on YouTube, you know that that is a real hobby and people take it extremely serious. And I'm very glad that I just saw Sherlock in here, because Sherlock's going to he's going to shit a golden chicken that then shits a golden brick that then comes out, and its first words that it says are, no shit, Sherlock. Not the diddler. I said Riddler. Christ, Hive. Yeah, Guitar Hero was the best. But you guys know what I'm saying. So like, there's people that are very, very good at puzzles and riddles and poems and clues, right? So I thought to myself, well, what if we were to think about these coordinates? Because if you think in the theme of not just a riddle, but a puzzle, right? A riddle, not a puzzle. Well, if you look up the flower, leaves, and butterflies, here is a site to soothe your eyes, a mini forest outside of your home. You might even find a gnome. That is verbatim from a website. You can look it up on room-based indoor scavenger hunt riddles, word for word, and it's referring to a garden. Okay? That is word for word. But then you get to the coordinates. And everybody looks it up. And they're like, "Oh my God, the killer!" They're dropping clues, and myself included. So I'm not even going to say that facetiously. I'm just saying, initially I'm like, "Oh, that's got to be where they hid the knife. It's got to be. Is there another body there? Is that where they staged? Is that where they cleaned up? Did they burn stuff?" And then I started to think about what would somebody who is creating a riddle or a puzzle do, and they would use camouflage. I'm going somewhere with this. Hear me out. This is going to blow your guys' mind. They would use camouflage. GPS coordinates are perfect because they feel authoritative. So we interpret 46 degrees north, 116 degrees west. Those letters matter as much as the numbers, meaning north and west. Okay? So if we look at 46.74 north as latitude north, north is forward. And then we look at 116.93 west as backward. Well, now we're starting to at least understand what a riddle would be. So we have north and we have west. So if we think logically, instead of just looking this up on Google Earth and seeing where it comes from, north equals up or ahead or progression. West is where the sun sets. There's regression or it rewinds. And yes, this was posted 6 days after the crimes. So what they are telling us is 46 degrees north, 117 or 116.9, whatever, backwards. Let's move forward in time by one value and backward by another. If it's not just this random place, right? Because we can get rid of this camouflage of its coordinates. It's got to be a location. No. Well, let's clean this up. So 46 and 116.9 or 117. So we have north or plus 46, and we have minus 116 or minus 117. So what does that mean? Well, there's imageries, meaning there's flowers, leaves, butterflies, garden, mini forest. Okay, that is, again, I'm thinking about in the terms of a riddle. That is, those are all cycled things. Those are seasonal things. Okay? But if we were to look at this instead of just direction and look at what else is seasonal, well, time is seasonal. Time is very seasonal. And what if we did that for minutes? And I tested that. That's essentially what we did. Start time, 46 minutes north, minus 116 minutes or 117 minutes. The net result is minus 70 minutes. And what was the hypothesis of our delta for how long? It was 67 minutes and 26 seconds. And if you look at this riddle as a delta, and instead of just, oh, well, it's the woods, I'm sure there is a knife sheath buried there. Give me a break. Shut up. You're not thinking about it the right way. You're thinking too simply. 46 north, ahead, progression, west, where the sun sets. If you're not somebody who likes puzzles, you're not going to understand this. But somebody that would geek out over a riddle, that it's absolutely something that they would do. So you got 46 minutes minus 116 minutes. The net result is minus 70 minutes. And the delta that we've said is you need to subtract 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 26 seconds, or 67 minutes and 26 seconds. This would be 70 minutes. So you think about the work that Sherlock put in, where Sherlock's doing this by himself. I'm trying to come over the top. Pav tries to come over the top. Handful of people in here try to come over the top. Yeah, we got to 7 minutes, 26 seconds plus an hour. No, this damn 4chan post, if you look at this, says you need to start 70 minutes earlier because your eyes will finally be soothed and you will see the truth. You might even find a gnome. And a gnome is somebody that you don't notice unless it's pointed out. And holy motherfuck, that is crazy. So, this location is really nothing. It's a red herring. This is time. Go 46 minutes north and go 116 minutes backwards. Look at the timeline starting 70 minutes earlier. And in my opinion, it's just crazy. It's crazy because then you look at the reference of a gnome, right? So I'm just talking the riddle. This isn't conspiracy. This is a riddle. This is a puzzle. Somebody posted this to figure out. Gnomes, they stand still, they don't act, they just exist while time passes all around them, and they're only ever seen retrospectively. But everybody walks right past a garden gnome, and more times than not, unless they point it out or they're told that they're there, they don't notice it. So we need to start our timeline 70 minutes earlier. The clock starts 70 minutes earlier than we think. And again, I'm not saying this is right, but I can tell you that what have I said about this case for how long? This is not the way of thinking for everybody. I refuse to think like simply about anything. And I'm like, this is a riddle. And this is written by somebody who wants you to assume that you're that smart where they go, oh my God, they gave coordinates. There's got to be a knife. That's got to be where they hid something. And I'm not making fun of anybody. But if you've ever met somebody that's into puzzles or into riddles, you know nobody falls for that shit. Nobody falls for that shit. That location, those coordinates are or is minus 70 minutes. And flowers, leaves, and butterflies, here's a sight to soothe your eyes, a mini forest outside your home. You might even find a gnome. Well, that describes a garden. That is taken from you can Google that and it pops up everywhere. That is an indoor scavenger hunt in a garden, right? Or it's referencing a garden. You might even find a gnome. So it's the gnome inside the clue to soothe your eyes is knowing you need to look 70 minutes earlier in the night. And I can tell you, nobody's fucking thought of that. And I'm sorry for my language. Nobody's ever thought of that before. It makes a lot of sense. We've speculated on all of that organically. The timeline doesn't make sense. The noises don't make sense. The activity doesn't make sense. Maybe this 4chan post was accurate. Maybe this was somebody that was saying, you're missing something. And I'm going to test to see if people just think that it's as simple as, I'm going to put a knife at these coordinates. And if you think that it's as simple as just a location of a business or a location near something, give me a break. That might be accurate, but if you think that that's why somebody would put this on there and put that out there, I'm not being mean and saying that it's completely wrong. 46 minutes up, 116 minutes back is 70 minutes. We have speculated on a delta of 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 26 seconds, or 67 and a half minutes. So you know what? Damn it, Hive. That's a top dog to all of us. We got within 2.5 minutes, and we didn't even know about this until today. We didn't even know about this until today. And it's not necessarily changing anything. It's just, could that be the validation that we needed, that, oh my God, within 6 days of this crime, 7 days of this crime, somebody's posting a clue? So let's look 70 minutes earlier. Now, here's one thing that I have not figured out yet, because this is where I fight with my own brain. Okay, does that mean that the timestamps are 70 minutes off? Or does that mean that the activity is irrelevant when we hear screams, when we see cars? Is that telling us that it is irrelevant? Or is it the actual time stamp? Does that make sense? So I'm not sure which it would be yet, but I don't find it a coincidence that we have pieced it together by looking at hours of body cam and Linda Lane car park, Linda Lane dumpster, 1112, that 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 26 seconds lines up. And I'm not sure. Yes, thank you. Katie's on the case. It's saying open your eyes. And I agree, Craiger. This goes to show you that people know exactly what took place and at what time. And I think that this riddle, looking back, this sums up perfectly. Everybody gave up on this because they're like, well, there's nothing there. Let's go on Google Earth. It's just a forest. It's just a tree. Maybe something's buried there. Give me a break. Look at the sheath. Does that look like it was buried? No, they didn't talk anything about that. They never mentioned this. Somebody who knows what was going on did this. This is extremely intelligent, whoever did this. And I got to give a shout out to Sherlock, and I got to give a shout out to Pavarotti, because I adopted that 7 minutes and 26 second timeline, or the hour and, or I'm sorry. Yeah, I adopted that delta from them, and I ran with it. I was inspired by Sherlock saying, that he's going to test Pavarotti's hypothesis. So I tested my own. And so again, that's the power and the strength of the collective, and power to the collective for sure. Sherlock says 70 minutes prior to 2:52 a.m. and 70 minutes after 2:52 a.m. It applies both ways. It's a bisexual delta. Now, so 4chan is posted anonymously. I'm not bringing up Papa Rogers at all. I have no idea. I don't even want to talk about Papa Rogers yet. I'll do a different stream on that. I believe that I know some more stuff on that too, but please don't even confuse that, because there's going to be simps that watch this and they're going to say, Bertie says that Papa Rogers said that. No, I'm just addressing a comment to any of the simps out there that are doing that. And I'm not coming at Les who asked that. It's just, this is not Papa Rogers. But yeah, I believe this is one of my best finds. Humbly saying that. This is one of my best finds. And I'm glad that I'm not afraid to go back and look to the beginning at things that we debunked these 2 years ago. Stop bringing up stuff just to bring it up. No, fuck that. When and if you were ever a detective, would you ignore the first initial rumors? You would never do that. So, again, I believe that it is a riddle, and I believe that this is the code cracked of that riddle. If you guys want to screenshot that so you can test it out on your own, I'll take the comments down right now. We were off by 2 minutes and 34 seconds, if that is what it is. No, and Bubbly, I'm not calling you guys simps at all. I hope nobody thought that I was talking to anybody in here. I was talking about people that are going to clip this, and when I got to read comments. Come on, Bubbly. I'm not calling you a simp. I love you, Bubbly. I love you all in here. There's the people that don't watch and they just catch a clip and they're like, Birdie's saying that it was Ethan with his hands tied when all I said was that it looked like somebody that might have been tied up. Never said a name, right? There's a lot of things like that. But I don't want to get distracted by the comments anymore because I think that this is worth staying focused on. And so I think what we should do for the remainder of this stream is let's look at some of the footage 70 minutes earlier. And instead of listening to the screams, let's just think, okay, what makes more sense? Do we move the timestamps up 70 minutes or do we think that 70 minutes earlier than commotion is what matters? I hope that makes sense because I don't know what to do. Right? So is it when we think there's something going on, do we think 70 minutes earlier or do we move the time 70 minutes earlier? Because we've also done the time. I don't know if we've ever done just, okay, so here's a crazy scream. Let's look an hour and 10 minutes earlier. Right? So that's my thought is we've really done where I've adjusted the timestamps. Other people have adjusted the timestamps. We've never done it where it's like, okay, we hear a scream and 70 minutes earlier, maybe we find the gnome. Maybe we see somebody we would have never noticed prior. So while I'm pulling this up, what is the most, I feel like as of late on the new 1112 footage, what's the most horrific scream that we've heard on camera? And I say that this is obviously investigative. It's not meant to sensationalize it. I'm serious. Let's look 70 minutes before that if we have the footage. So if I pull up, if I go on YouTube, 227. So that'd be 117. So that'd be 117. So if we started, let's just say, let's go to the Linda Lane. Tracy from Bama. Thank you. Fortunately, I have to yell War Eagle, but thank you so much for the super chat. Simon is home. Mercury rising. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Mercury rising. Simon is home. I don't know what that means, Tracy from Bama. I tried to play it off like I did. I have no clue. But thank you for the super chat, and I appreciate that. One of the reasons why let's look on Linda Lane car park, or let's just look on Linda Lane first. We can go to 1112. Isn't that 1112 though? Isn't that muted? Or am I misremembering a different time? Love and Other Habits. Thank you for the super chat. Birdie, I'd posted a puzzle when you started Discord. I just emailed it to you. Oh. Thank you. Love and Other Habits. At the end of this stream, when we get done, well, you know what? If I don't have time to look at that today, I will look at that. I'm very curious. Yeah, so the new video is muted though. So we're gonna have to look at the car park or the dumpster cam. And you know what? I can sync them up. Let's go. We'll sync them up and let's just look for activity that might stand out. Okay, so 227. If we look 70 minutes earlier, what do we see? I'm gonna pull up video view sync, not video sync, view sync. What do you guys think about that theory on the puzzle? Type of one if you think that that is a, and again, I'm not doing this just to stroke my ego, but I'm saying with my goal being true, type of one if you think that that's better than just a location. Because to me, that's a master Riddler, a master puzzle person. And I'm just glad that I went back and I told the mods, I'm like, I want to do something, quote, fun and interesting and exercise my brain. And it's going to be funny if people argue that. It's like, oh, Birdie's saying that it's time forward and it's time back. Well, is it a riddle? Yes. Do riddles have hidden answers? Yes. And is there anything that was found at those locations? No. So then what could it be? Maybe something else? Well, what if it's a time delta? What if it's a time delta? And I am just so, for the third time last time, I'm just shocked that we organically dialed that into 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 26 seconds. It's just crazy. All right. So I'm pulling this up. Let me get it on ViewSync here. We got 1 a.m. on Linda Lane car park. Let me get it on ViewSync. Yeah, it's at least worth looking into. You know what I'm saying? It's at least worth that. And I just think that'd be crazy because everybody just counted that out. They were just scouring Google Earth, myself included. Oh, do we have? I don't think we have the dumpster cam from 1 a.m. to midnight. No, we don't. So I guess we're just going to have to watch the car park. Was it Jules that put out the new? I'm assuming it is because she's been going hard on those new videos. Was she the one that put out the muted one? What time does that say? 12:55 to 12:55 to 2:30. Is this just a live though? Because I don't want the.
And it's literally the principle.
Yeah. Let's just watch the. Yeah, no audio is crazy. All right, so we said 2:27 was the scream, 70 minutes before 1:15. I guess let's just watch. Turn your volume up. I'm going to turn this up as loud as I can. You guys hear that? Type of one, just a couple people. I mean, already we hear stuff. I'm going to give a mic warning here. If you got it turned up, I'm sorry. I'm going to give props to the Hive Mind's biggest troll. God damn it, Jeff, because he does have an enhanced audio. So we will listen to 1 to 2 a.m. on Jeff H. And you know what? Jeff subscribes to me. I'll go ahead. Jeff, thank you for doing this. We can disagree, but I know you watch and you're a pain in my ass, but you spark some good conversations and you got some video up. Not saying that I like you, but at least you're doing something. Maybe not doing something to find the truth, but doing something. I'm going to give a warning right here for the, I'm going to talk quietly. Guys, this kind of looks like the white BMW we see on the dumpster cam. Watch this closely. I'm going to pause it. I'm going to play at half speed. You saw people walking out. You saw their shadows over here. I'm going to go back about 10, 20 seconds. Okay, here comes. So 10-second warning till when I play this again. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking now and I'm going to go back. And then you can turn your volume up. So this will be the last thing I say. Half speed. I'm just taking screenshots. Warning, warning for the headphone people. This is unbelievable. This is unbelievable. The fact that in the beginning they said around 3 a.m. and then it was whatever the hell they tried to sell us on Brian Koberger. I've been saying for the last month, if Brian Koberger didn't do this crime, the timeline for when these crimes happened is BS. That timeline was to frame Brian. So stop acting like they would frame a man in a time frame that the crime still happened at. They would never do that. Ever. I believe that the footage is looped. Not for all of the passes. I think there are 2, possibly 3 legitimate passes at that time. Right here, how weird is it? We said 2:27, that scream. The 4chan post says you need to look 70 minutes earlier if we uncovered the riddle correctly, more than just a very obvious coordinate. Anybody that does puzzles know that you would never just give the answer. No, it's a riddle. Figure it out. I'm going to go back a minute. This is wild what you hear. It all seems to correlate with this. We were close. We were 2.5 minutes off. If you look at 70 minutes earlier, 46 minus 117 takes you to negative 70 minutes. So minus 1 hour and 10 minutes. There's more. And what are we hearing right now? We are certainly hearing a whole hell of a lot more than what we were told. I gave a 10-second warning. Hopefully you all had time to turn your headphones down. I just saw somebody bring up a really good point to take a break and recap. So for anybody that missed it, in the beginning, I started talking about the 4chan rumor, the 4chan riddle. This was posted on Sunday, November 20th, 2022 at 12:29 in the afternoon. Flowers, leaves, and butterflies. Here is a sight to soothe your eyes. A mini forest outside your home. You might even find a gnome. 46.7 degrees north, 116.9 degrees west. Everybody looked this up and they're like, that's the middle of the woods. It's right on the border. They probably buried the knife sheath there. Well, everybody did the Google Earth thing and nobody found anything. It was never talked about. So people forgot about it. And I started thinking about what would a riddle or a puzzle actually be? Well, north would be forward and west would be backward. And the fact that they say there's more, in my head, I'm like, that's a clue that if you look here, there's more. Well, if north equals up or ahead or progression, west, again, I'm thinking in the terms of solving a puzzle or a riddle. West is sunset, regression, rewind. So you need to move forward in time by north or by one value and backward by another value. And so what I did is I took 46 north, so positive 46, subtracting 117 or 116 minutes. The net result is negative 70 minutes. We were saying there was a delta of 1 hour, 7 minutes, and 26 seconds. We were off by 2.5 minutes. What I'm showing now is not actually a delta. What I'm saying is that this riddle could have been telling us this entire time that if you figured this riddle out, here is a sight to soothe your eyes, meaning you're not crazy. Look 70 minutes earlier, there's shit going down. That's how riddles work. That's how puzzles work. If somebody really wanted to hide this in plain sight, anonymous or not, they're not going to have it be, let's go look right here. I bet that's where the knife sheath is. Maybe, but highly unlikely, especially given all the circumstances of the oddities and the redacting in this case. In my opinion, you might even find a gnome. That means that unless you look for a gnome in a garden, you're never going to see it. Unless somebody points it out, typically you don't notice it. Right? So we went back to 1 a.m. going off of what was the loudest, craziest scream that we've heard. And people said 2:27. So we subtracted 70 minutes from that. And that's why we are now watching the 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. car park. And damn, if we haven't heard a lot of shit go down in this audio that hits different, I don't know what else to say. But that is how a riddle works. That's how you figure out a puzzle. All right, so that was 1 a.m. to 2 a.m., 1330 Linda Lane footage. That was Jeff H's enhanced sound. I'm not going to go back and re-explain it again. Thank you to who made the suggestion to do that halfway through. That was very smart, and I'm glad that I saw that comment. What is very interesting to me is that that's clearly a riddle on the screen. Riddles are up for interpretation. That's what this evening was about, was interpreting it. I interpreted it one way. It's how we have to look at this entire case. I am not sure if everybody is able to do this. I understand there are casual viewers. I understand that there are people that have had this case consume their lives, right? I would challenge everybody in here to look at this with fresh eyes. Whatever you have to tell yourself, forget what I've said, forget what other creators have said. It is impeding in your natural flow state of critically thinking because you have a bias because somebody else told you this. That's why I don't put captions on audio anymore, right? Until after the fact. Like if I post a short or a TikTok, then I will, because if I don't, all the comments are like, what are you hearing? Right. But when I do it live, when I have the comments that I can see, I want people to have their own genuine thoughts. So I try to not infiltrate on anybody's critical thinking ability. I might clown horn somebody if they clearly are not able to. And I do that out of good fun. I'm a very loving and caring person. Might crash out every now and again. However, you gotta understand, this case has had so much speculation, so many theories. We need to forget about that. If we think that even tonight's stream is just a riddle, we're already gone. We lost. We're never going to figure it out. If it's just a riddle, right? A normal this is how I'm going to describe it. A normal person sees these coordinates and they say, let's open up Google Maps. A normal person will see that this is a children's scavenger hunt poem, and they'll laugh and they're like, oh, that's about a garden. But if you're making a riddle, that is the trap. And if you don't do riddles or if you don't do puzzles, that sounds crazy, but it's not. The riddle does not hide information by making it complicated. They hide it by making it feel too simple. That is Riddle 101. They make it seem way too simple. The phrase, there's more, in this post, that is not just random information. That's a clue to the riddle. That's a psychological command. It tells you, do not stop when you feel satisfied just Googling this on maps. That's how normal people write. That's how normal people think. But it's nothing if that's where you stop looking. You have to understand riddle language. I'm not saying that I'm an expert in riddle language by any means, but I can tell you that interpreting the real numbers as there's more, 46 north, forward, 116.9 backward. If that was just minutes instead of degrees, look 70 minutes earlier. Now, what's crazy is that if you take the official timeline and shift it 70 minutes earlier, you have to start to ask yourself, why would the riddle point that out? Well, that's what we don't know. But it clearly points to something else happening, and I believe that it's been in our face. My point is this. The riddle could be saying 70 minutes earlier. I could be way wrong, but if we're going to go with that hypothesis, 70 minutes earlier than the PCA says, the crime could have been done. 70 minutes earlier, the crime could have just started. We don't know what that may mean. But we've been looking at this case for how long? I have not heard any other channel, any other creator, any other group of people like the Hive look at this and say, let's try to outsmart the person that wrote this riddle. Let's look deeper and let's actually take an hour and a half, 2 hours, and let's look at what if it's minutes? What if this is when they're saying there's more? And we've already all looked at those timestamps of 1 to 2 a.m. So this isn't a delta. This is just there's more that occurs earlier, and this could be confirming it. This riddle took 4chan and a lot of the internet by storm. So personally, I would say this is my best find. If I had to rank my finds, whether, I'm looking at theories or whatever, I feel very proud about this one. And shout out to my mods for helping me out. And shout out to all of you for looking into it. Go back, watch the replay, hit like on your way out. Mrs. Birdie and I are having some friends over for the Packer game tonight. Go Pack Go. And I will see you all tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. Central. Do not forget to check out thehivemindstore.com. We have a giveaway going on. You spend $50 or more, you get a free Hive Mind t-shirt. Got a bunch of awesome stuff on our website. And again, please hit like, please hit subscribe. I'm going to read the super chats. I don't want to make anybody think that I forgot about that. Obviously, I was showing the audio, so the screen was smaller. But Kelly Flanagan, thank you so much. Fact Digger 1 says, #FreeBK, time to get the real villains. Amen to that. I got to get a different top dog trophy. I broke my second one of the year. Monty Vermillion 4806 says, I've been saying it's a diesel since day one hearing these recordings. Me too. Absolutely. Jackie Bushable, thank you so much. Leon Bimpson 998 says, UK Liverpool here. Great channel. Keep up the good fight. Watch the Capture TV series that will answer the manipulation of live footage. Ooh, interesting. I'll write that down. The Capture TV series. Thank you for the recommendation and for the super chat. Monty Vermillion 4806 again. Thank you for the super chat. Love your show. I think the black heart is the same thing as having a heavy heart that has to admit to something he did not do. Amen to that. That's a great theory. Katie's on the case. You rock. Thank you for the big super chat. Love everyone here. It's silent, but maybe that's making us see better. I'm assuming for the 1112. That's a great point. That's a great point. You can either watch it silently, or I would argue turn it up loud and don't watch the video. See what you hear or see what you see. At 1:50 a.m. and 35 seconds of flash I haven't seen before. Have you? I probably have seen it. Off the top of my head, I can't envision it, but I will go back and look, Kelly. And thank you so much again for the super chat. I hope you all have a wonderful night. I love the Hive. I love streaming with you all every night. I look forward to tomorrow night. Look into that riddle a little bit. Tell me what you find. Think outside the box. Think as if a master riddler, not a diddler. Don't get excited, Jeff H. Just kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke, everybody. See? Clown horn. We got jokes. Have a great night, though. Be safe. Be smart. Get an Uber if you need one. And I'll see you all tomorrow at 7 p.m. Central. Cheers.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.